Says go live. Hey, everybody, how are you? Oh my goodness. Hey, everybody. Hopefully, you all can see me. How are you all? How are you all doing? Yeah, it's Sharon. Hey, hey, hey. I tell you what, I was not able to get all my steps in, so I am on my bike. I'm saying hello to you. Hopefully, you can hear me, and hopefully, the the lighting will stay. So I want to say welcome to everybody. Welcome to those of you who are here for the first time, or even those of you who are returning. Absolutely. I thank you. I thank you for coming on in. I'm going to get my numbers in. So that's why I am on the bike trying to get myself in. So I'm Sharon and coming to you just a little extra relaxed on at the time of this recording. It's a Monday. And for me, Mondays are like Fridays. I just decided to make it fun and relaxing, but it's also a time for motivation. And although this title, and I don't know if I'm going to change it, but it says just quit, just quit. And what does all of that mean? Let's see who is here with us. I think the chat is open. Hey, Sabrina. I guess you can see me somewhat, but I'm on the bike. I got to get those 10,000 steps in. And it so happened that today my schedule was off and that did not happen. So I'm finding a way to make it up. It's pretty windy where you are in Florida. Wow. Be safe, guys. Be safe. I like it when you can hear the wind outside, but not if there are too many trees. So you want to be safe. Hopefully, nothing else happens. And blessings to you and your family. But yeah, what I was talking about, just quit. And sometimes, when we are, and first of all, those are new to the channel, I speak about personal and professional development. A lot of things I speak on entrepreneurship. And also, for those of you who know that I'm a nurse, definitely I also speak to my nurses. And so I just keep it simple: personal, professional development, um, professional and personal development, and entrepreneurship, of course. And definitely, my nurses are in the space. And whenever we travel, I bring you some of the information when we go on medical missions. And this year, we're looking to head into Jamaica. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be nice around the summertime, June, July. I'll let you all know when it is. Lyrics by Nitya. Hey, how are you? Listen, so many things are happening. I didn't get the steps in. So you see me here on the bike with these little fat arms. I was doing my weights this morning. I did some weights. And on this wellness journey, guys, I've been juicing up a storm. Today I juiced and I did celery, green apples, cucumbers, ginger. I didn't have lime, so I used lemon, and it was pretty good. And I also did carrot, red apples, some cilantro, and ginger, of course. And then I said, you know what? Let's throw a couple of celery sticks in there. So it was pretty good. And so when I talk about quitting, just quit. If it's not working, especially the negative things, right? So the quote that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to get a different result. And when you keep doing the same thing over and over and you're not getting the results that you really want, the question is, do you really know what it is that you want? Did you make a request for it? Did you ask for the things you truly want? And that can make a difference because we need clarity around what it is that we want. Because sometimes, we try to figure it out by ourselves, and then it's going to take you forever. And you could get there, but being in a space where the accountability is high makes a difference. Today I was on a call um, with someone, and she's a coach, a media coach, big time. She books all those top talk shows that you guys watch. And, we were on the call and we were just talking. But what was great about it was that I was amongst other people who were like minded because they're intentional about the results that they want. And it wasn't really about question, am I ready for this? Can I do this? There were people who made a commitment to themselves and they say that they're ready. And that's what community does. When you're in a community of like minded individuals and you don't see where it's just like, oh, I'm just trying to get my way. It's really a community of wanting others to win. And I'm sure some of you have bumped into a few of those right here. So that was my thing, just being in that space. And she said, Sharon, when are you ready? I said, I'm ready right now. I'm oh so ready. Caribbean girl Tony, good night, all. Happy to catch you. Yeah, I'm on my bike. I didn't get my 10,000 steps in today. So I don't know how the rest of all of this looks, but I'm like, no jacket on. I got a Grace Kennedy hat. They need to pay me some money for this. And so when you're doing things that aren't giving you the results that you need, insanity is doing the same thing over and over. So think about in your life, what is it that you truly want? And when you're able to think about things that way and the results, all right, Cassie Kitchen Creations with a K. Hey, it's the beginning of the week. So this is when I start all over again. I start watching. So you're going to see me. I usually start on Sundays. I kind of took it easy yesterday, but I start on Sundays back to, trying to give the 7 days. So I was over there. You were making, what is it called? Trestle? Is that what it's called? Elle's Endeavor. Hey, Elle's Endeavor. Have you made any new videos? Because I went over there watching. So that's why I keep giving you a thumbs up on the shorts. Guys, I cannot get the videos out of my phone. I have 2 phones, and there's something about them wanting me to buy more space, $9.99 a month, and I still cannot get the videos out. I made some awesome videos. I did it on the violence that nurses are experiencing right now. It seems like it's on the rise, and I can't get that out. And I made that maybe a week or 2 ago. I can't get it out. This Tuesday will make it 2 weeks. So I don't know what's going on. It's truffles. What did I call them? Truffles? Truffles. Yes, I saw that the week before. I said, let me save it for this. And so I like the fact that Cassie Kitchen's Creation, I say it, guys, because the algorithm listens. And there's nothing wrong with saying, giving a shout out or typing it. The algorithm listens and it's your audience. So I'm good with that. I'm glad that you make the vegan, the vegan part of it. And you know what, guys, I'm going to say this. For those of you in the cooking arena, I really appreciate those of you who make vegan food. And it's not just vegan to be vegan, like non-dairy. It is just so important because I never really had to deal with it before. But now, having seen a family member end up in the emergency room because they had something with dairy, it's it's a little bit different. I don't care how much of a nurse I am. When it's your own and it hits home, it's very different. So I appreciate you doing that. And it's really important that when we are doing certain things and even substitute some stuff, people may be allergic to it or not, but I appreciate that. Every weekend, my grandson there, Dad, they bake. So they bake their own breads, bake their own muffins, and they make their own pizza. Have you ever done the pizza yet? Maybe you have. Cassie, have you done pizza? Mary Jane, yoo-hoo! Mary Jane is taking it to the next level. Mary Jane is like, I'm going to post on my page because I'm going to let you know that this time it's going to be different. Loving it, Mary Jane. Love the direction. Elle's Endeavor. Any new videos yet? Need some new videos. So quit whatever. If you keep doing the same thing and getting the same results, that's insanity. That's what I'm talking. Just quit that. Quit doing that same thing. The strategies and systems may need to be different in order for you to get different results. Because remember, a body in motion stays in motion. A body at rest stays at rest. Okay? Not my quote, original quote, but you get what I'm saying. So if you keep doing the same thing and the results are there, and the results are not yielding the things that you say that you want. The thing is, do you have clarity around what it is that you say that you want? Mary Jane said, God has me stuck on that. I have another video to post on same thing. I think you should. And for me, I think when you're authentic and you show up as your authentic self, people will see that. And that's what I love. We don't have to put on any ears, put on for people. You just be yourself. And being yourself, a lot of people like that. They like the transparency. I'm telling you right now, people are sick and tired of the lack of transparency. Say one thing and then do another. We see that happening right now. And it's rather confusing. It's emotionally confusing to a lot of people. And so we have to make decisions in our lives, right? Right now, where do I need to go with this? Who do I need to touch with it? And so for me being in that space today, I was able to listen to the whole call. I participated. And she's like, well, Sharon, are you ready? I said, yeah, I'm so ready. But I said what it was that I wanted, because sometimes life will change and things will pivot. So the other stuff, sometimes you may be down in the ditches, as they would say, and it doesn't. Yeah, these glasses, I can't even see y'all when I'm up close, so I have to do this. Yeah. So that's the thing. Last week video was get pushy about it. All right, because I thought I got most of your videos, but I'll go back and look because I thought I was up to date with your videos. Guys, do you know sometimes YouTube doesn't show you comments until 7 or 10 days later? I've seen them held comments for 2 weeks. And sometimes if they have too much emoji, but I don't know why they do that. I'll get comments that's been released after 7 or 10 days, and they're innocent comments. But for some reason, I think they do that. So yeah, I'm going to do something this week. Thanks for asking. Yeah, because I've done my videos, and now the 2 phones, I cannot get the information out because I think they're transferring to each other. So each time it tells me, and I'm paying $9.99 a month, which I'm not supposed to do because now it's ridiculous. And I got to find out why. 2 phones, and they transfer everything over to each other. So, and they're both iPhones. So all these great videos I'm out here making, nobody can see them. So in about a month or so, I may just have to get another laptop because I have a lot of stuff. And maybe that's why. Yes, why are they holding on to comments longer than a day? I don't know if some of you have seen that. Go and look. Some people have experienced it, and it used to be up more often because I look on the same videos, and then I'm seeing 7 days ago, and they do that sometimes. So they want to make sure everything is on the up and up, but it happens. I'm sure a few people have experienced it. You'll see it like this was 7-10 days ago, but they do that. And I think there's a way for you to look to see what they're holding. So that's happening. So yes, my question to you, what is it that you think you're doing over and over? And put a 1 in the chat. Is there something that you're doing? You keep doing the same thing and you're getting the same results. And the results that you're getting is not taking you anywhere. They say that's insanity when you keep doing the same thing. So put a 1. Yep. Put a 1 in the chat. If you've been at the place or you've been doing something and it stays the same. Elle's Endeavor said, Sometimes the algorithm only shows me new channels and I have to look for you all. Yes, it does. It does that. So when I'm looking for certain people, I have to type it in. And it's difficult when their names do not really match what they're doing or a difficult name. Like SSV, her name is CA, I think 1964, something like that, or 62. So she's in California, but she has SSV, but her actual handle is Cali something. I think Cali 64, but something like that. So for me, it makes it difficult. I have to actually go looking for people. All right. So Mary Jane, lyrics by Nitya. Yeah. So yeah, and I could put a one there too. There are things that I've done, but I've decided to, and I think when that starts to happen, you may have to pull back and say, why do I keep doing the same thing? I'm getting the same result. What do I need to do differently? And sometimes we need to approach it. She said, with some things, yes, one, and one. Yeah, I've done it. Like, Lord, why do I keep doing the same thing? I'm getting the same results. And then sometimes you'll think, well, I won't do anything. You know what? Since it's not going the way that I want it to go, I'm not going to do anything. And so thinking that I'm not making a decision, or if you think you're not making a decision, you are, because not doing anything, right, is also making a decision. So we have to look at, first of all, what is it that I truly want? And create some goals around it. But in your hearts of hearts, what do I really want? And sometimes you also have to think, well, for what it is that I want, who do I need, or what do I need? What is the information I need? And who do I need to support me in that? And then you have to be clear on what type of support that you needed. So when I was on my friend's call and I said to her, you know, I was like, yeah, I want things, but I want to do some things a little bit different. And I've done it for clients, never really done it so much for myself, because usually for me, when it comes to speaking engagements, people usually find me. I don't even really have to pitch or market. And then she said, but just think about it. What if you were to really do it? What would that look like? So that's the thing, guys. If you were to do things a little bit different and gain clarity around the thing that you want, you would find out what is it that you do. Because like I'm saying, she works with all the heavy hitters. She's written articles, New York Best Time, top television show, met Oprah, had tea in the garden at Oprah's house, okay? And it's not just about Oprah, it's just what she does. And she was just being herself. And so sometimes it requires you to step out of your comfort zone. It requires you to stretch. A lot of people don't stretch because it's the same thing over and over. But for people who have done the work, and it's not being impatient, it's just that they have done that work already, where you're going to question yourself. And you got to look, I always say, on the other side of things. What is it that I want? Who do I need to touch? How am I going to be able to do it? Am I doing it by myself? And another thing, too, when you're trying to figure it out, proximity is everything. You may have your circle, but baby, proximity is everything with the right people. So that's why it is going to require you to step out of your comfort zone, because I don't know who you may know, and you don't know who I may know. Sometimes all it takes is a phone call, and sometimes all it takes it's an email. But if you haven't done the work and then you step into that realm trying to figure it out, then you're just taking other people's time. So all I'm saying that, yeah, you can just quit that stuff that doesn't work because you're not getting the results. But then it's going to be worth you doing the results, and it will be worth you. And after you've done that and you start having conversations with people who could possibly open doors for you, you're not starting from scratch because you've already started doing some of the work. Let's see what's here. Lyrics by Nitya. I am in the position where I might have to turn my channel into a radio station. I am running out of creativity here. Mm. Let me sip my water. First of all, I love what you do, Nitya. And then if you're going to do it like a radio, there's Twitch, there are other places that you can do that, because I know your heart is into the writing. I mean, you write some of the most, it's like lyrics, words that we've heard before, but the way the lyrics hit is just so different. And if that's what you want to do, yeah, you may have to, if you choose to do something like that, you can. I did radio for almost 20 something years, and it's being committed to it. So yeah, there are beautiful things you can do, lots of stuff you can do with it. So I know that's a big decision. Yes, Els Endeavor said it's important to be ready. Hey, Caribbean girl. Yeah, and we love Nitya's channel, because I'll just leave it on like a radio station. Because people who listen to music, I'm going to tell you this, they just really listen to music. And you have to figure out, it's not about being the creativity, is what you're doing with it. Because there are people who are going to come and listen to the music, but there are other things if you really want to explore that. And it's like, what the end results? What else do you want to do with it? Because radio is not just radio playing music. Radio is also a business. But yes, you could play the music if that's what you want to do. But I think there are other things around it you could possibly stretch and do with it. So that's a decision, a big one to make. Mary Jane said, I understand what you mean. But you're flowing right. But I'm with you, whatever you decide. I understand what you mean. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I said, folks, you have to really say what you want. There are some things, many of us are super talented. And for me, I did radio for many years because I loved it. They didn't have to pay me to do it, right? They they don't have to do it. And so this is where this comes in now. Mary Jane is saying, I wanted to get with you to see if you could make me a short song. So and may I say this, so that's as songwriter. And if somebody is if you guys really want to know about music, the business of music, it's a whole business, man. If somebody's going to write a jingle or write a song for you, that's a business, guys. I want y'all to think about it, because there's so many things, and don't get mad at me, y'all, but you really have to think of this. It's a business to go to someone and say, write me a jingle, write me this, that. Then you have to think of who owned the rights for it, guys. So that's why I'm saying you're super talented, but you got to understand around it what this is. And if I were to go to someone and say, write me a song, she owns that song. And I would have to pay her for that song to play. Or if we do a one-time deal, which in these days and time, you need. And so this is what I'm saying. The business aspect of what we're doing, we really have to think about it, because we are creatives. We are people who create. So yes, I used to work with artists that would get people to write the songs for them and pay them. And that song is a hit. And that person who wrote the song, because the contract, what he did was say, I wrote that song, sold it for $2,000, and this song is making multiple thousands and thousands, six figures, making money out there. It's a business. So we have to kind of understand when we step into the realm of someone else, whether it's their time, their energy, and their resources. That's another side of me, guys, you all don't see, but it's the truth. And it's not to, it's a business in addition to the creative work. Yeah. So if you want to write your song, believe it or not, you can. You can just write your song and do what it is you need to do, but you have to understand. And I want people here, because, it's beautiful that we're helping each other, we're sharing information. But the moment you decide to focus on, you know what, this is a business, somebody may want it, then I will say, oh, that's their intellectual property. That's their time, whether they get on a call or something with you. What you do will go to the next level. Trust me. Here goes Nitya. I have not written for anyone. What is your angle? I'm sure you can write it, Nitya. But then again, I'm saying you guys got to be clear on it. That's true. I'll definitely share you wrote it, Nitya, and pay you. Maybe I can email you some. You guys are doing all these deals. Stop doing that on my channel, y'all. Y'all need to go get an attorney. Y'all need to get an attorney. Coach, I have to reach out to you as well. My money was put away. I had to play caught up. I'll share the video on that. My email is in my description box. Yeah, Nitya, I definitely think you can do good jingles. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, guys. People who are artists, they are creatives. I worked with a lot of them. They're not worrying about the business side of things. They're creative. So before we say yes, set up your business and do I'm never going to tell anybody what to do with their creativity. But it comes a time, like many of you here on YouTube, that's why I'm kind of careful how I pin other people's stuff, because there needs to be some form of understanding. There's a whole business side. I watch how some folks do YouTube. There's a whole business to it. There are people who could shut down your channel for something that they could say belongs to them. And they have done that before. So, yeah, I don't want to step on any toes tonight. Yeah. I wish that a band would sponsor me to do the jingles. I'm wishing that a band would sponsor you to do the jingles. Listen, there are people whose family is still living off the music that they have written. Guys, study your craft. That's all I can say. Study your craft and do the work around it. Yeah, I'll leave that at that. Yeah. And that's what I always say, folks. Just go and find ways where you can get the information you need. Go invest in an attorney. Some of you might have taken courses and understand things. And that's why I'm very, that's a private conversation. Yeah, but I always tell people, listen, so many of you may not know, okay? I'm a nurse. I own a healthcare agency, and I have a coaching business. I have other people who have spawned their business from some of them just from what they had in their head. But for me, it was always important that they owned everything when it comes to their business. Because there's some folks right now who are living like a fat cat off the back of a lot of creatives. And they live like a fat cat, right? And their next 3 generations, they're set. They're set because they understand the value. I think I spoke once about the value of your minutes. Understand the value of your minutes. The moment you understand that, you can do whatever you want for free. I go on medical missions. I work for free, pay my own air, my own hotel. If I have to work and get extra hours to make it done, I do that. I can talk to people on the phone. So you can always give. But there comes a time, the responsibility of what it is that you have. And when somebody can see it for you and your next generation, that's what I'm glad that God gave that to me. And many of us, we have lost. I've had things happen because I call it the trip system, right? I didn't trust what God gave me because it came so easy. I can get up in front of an audience and I can flow. You could just give me a couple of things to say. I can be prepared, yes, but if I need to flow, I can flow. And so all of you have a gifting, and it requires that we spend time and we're like, why did God give this to me? Because what may seem difficult to someone is not for me. And then you're going to find out, all right, so by the sweat of my brow, I shall eat bread. Maybe he wants me to do that. I look at a dearly departed, oh my God, I loved her, Angie Stone. It's just so hard right now to even listen to any of her music. And she has touched so many people because she's a creative. Creatives I've known have spent time in the studio. They'll just write, write, write. And before you know it, there are people who are like this. They think it's taking candy from a baby. And it's so true. So I always tell people to take the time out to really look at that. And if it's something that you want in your brand, you have to look at everything with the branding itself. Like I had someone wrote a jingle for my show, and the kid, he wanted the notoriety just to say he did it. And I was like, okay, dude, it's your thing. And he just did a jingle, he mixed it, he did all of that stuff, and I would play it in between. And so part of my air check or his air check is that, I'd allow him, hey, yes, you can use. And so people, you have to give them authority to use your likeness, your voice, all of those things. I'd rather people pay attention to that because later on, it can be nasty. We're going to see some other things going on. True, sometimes other people can see the gifts in others, and you have to be able to be okay with it. So some of you may have that gifting, and people are like, well, if you do that for them, why not for yourself? Because that wasn't for you. And God will always bless you. Let me tell you, he will always provide. Trust me. Because that's why people can pick up the phone and say, who do you know? You will never be alone. I prefer to just be able to flow, right? I'm not great with one-on-one, too slow for me, but I know it comes with it. Yeah. It's just that, like anything, like I said, there are people, I can see it. So if you allow yourself to say, all right, this is who I am. And I'll tell you one of the things, Mary Jane, very much like you, the personality. It could go into a room, light up a room, boom, boom, boom. And because I didn't want there's no strings attached. I don't want anything that strings attached. I'll just do my thing, but just understand I'm going home after, or I'm just going to chill, have dinner, whatever it is. And that was me. However, in the audience, what I noted, more people wanted to find out about me. More people may want to work with you. And because I don't walk around with business cards, I used to years ago, and I was like, this is silly. So I don't walk around with business cards. But if you can get off a stage and people want to know about you, the right ones will know. The messaging will be clear. And that's why clarity is needed. Some people, the messaging may be clear and say, this is what I need. But then now, even more on how do I put it together. We call it the heart and the mind coming together. Like I have all of this. I know this is what I'm supposed to do, but it's there's just something I needed. And so that's the thing. Yeah. Mary Jane, meaning one-on-one coaching, doing that. I like to do more public speaking and just flow. Did some one-on-one coaching, was like, okay, God, you have to help me Yeah. And I don't really take one-on-one clients because I've done group coaching. But for me, I now have a client because I told you guys I have an academy. So the client went in and she said, I see all the people you attract. They're so different. And yet you're able, because I said it's not for everybody. So you're going to find out whatever you're doing is not for everybody. And so for me, for one-on-one, if I ever offer anything to get on a phone with me, guys, I would take it. Trust. Trust, baby. Because the first thing I'll do a T-chat. That means I'm not charging you anything. It's 20 minutes. We chat for tea just like we're chatting here. So I'm just saying. But the types of clients that I have, what I choose to in this season in my life, and that's it, Mary Jane. Sometimes you may You may have to, you have to recognize the season. So the season was, here are the clients I'm going to work with. Here's the amount of time, and this is what the investment. And they will know me when they see me. And I'm going to tell you, God did that in the latter half, I think the last quarter of 2024, because I was so clear. And the price or investment to that particular client, it didn't matter. Why? Because that's what I asked for. So when you set your expectations at a level, it will happen, but everything else around it. And so, you get what I'm saying, Els? Yeah, guys, I offered 5 of those T-chats, and listen, Lyrics by Nitya took 2 of them already. I usually only do 1, but she was like, I booked it. I was like, girl. Yeah, the T-chats, because it's not just, I drop gems here, and sometimes I say something to some people, and they were like, But yeah, and never, whenever you're in a space and you get an opportunity, and that's why I don't throw names around, guys. I don't throw names around of people and circles that I've been in, because it will require the room. Because you could go into a room, and if I say to my friend right now, the coach, because we're in a contract as coach and client, and I said to her, this is what I want. Sharon don't have time trying to get ready. I need to be ready, because this is major stuff. Major from ABC and those channels that you guys watch, CBS, NBC, is that kind, all right? So, and then you'd be ready. Yes, there's an investment, but also the angle of the story. Why would I need it? And then I thought about it and I said, I've had a taste of that. I'm not hungry for that. But there's some things, and even it's not me, there are clients or people who are alumni of mine who may need that. So when you're making connections, guys, it's not always for you. If I'm making connections, all of that is not for me. It may be for one of my other clients. Okay. And so that's why instead of trying to get ready, you got to stay ready. And so some of the rooms that you've walked into, some of the connections you've made, it is for a reason. And the process is growth, right? It's how do you grow from there? So for me, that's always been the thing. And it's not what I can get from someone. If I walk into a network, it's like, how can I support you? Who do you need to be connected with? I'm not asking them for anything unless they want to give me their business card. But you have to be strategic with that too. Like, there may be somebody that I could refer someone to. You get what I mean? Because of the rooms that I've been in. Know this. Who's ready for another gem? And number 2, I'm all out of breath here. I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Who's ready for another gem? Before I forget. In my Mercedes world. Hey, hey, hey. Yes, be ready. Yeah. I was about to drop another gem. When you walk into rooms, and you want to walk into powerful rooms, but not rooms where, because people are people. That's the thing. Not impressed about that other stuff. You will find and you will meet good people. And sometimes good people are looking for other good people. Mary Jane says she's dropping a 2. What about Elle's Endeavor? Are you dropping a 2 for a gem? Cassie, in my Mercedes world. Sabrina, whomever else is here, I can't see, right? So when I'm dropping these gems and you walk into rooms and places and spaces, or a connection help others, I've helped people get jobs. Yes. And let me tell you, the blessings is upon you. And we understand that when you do something for someone, a favor may not come back from them, but it's the law of reciprocity, right? The law of reciprocity. It'll come back to you. Lord, my arms them look so nice and fat. Jesus. In the islands, they would say, you're plump girl. You're fluffy. I try not to refer to everyone because you're hired based on my recommend. That means what they say, a man's name can carry you. Listen, Els, absolutely. Because you'll have somebody go up in there and act a fool. So there are people that you can't show thyself, approve your works, right? You got to show you, make sure that, because if you open your mouth, it's going to come back. And I have friends who will, you could refer somebody or they found out about someone. I will get a phone call. So tell me no. I have a friend, she's an attorney, and she would call me in Jamaica and she said to me, all right, Sharon, no. So tell me everything. Is this a good person? Is this worth it? Because people with their names, they don't want to listen. Some folks, that's all they have. And it will take them years to build their name. And in just a few minutes, somebody could tear that down. So yes, Els Endeavor, that's something, that's an anointing, and we have to use wisdom. Yes, yes, gems. Yes, that's right. Mary Jane is like, straighten your crown. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the gem is this. When I talk about being in powerful rooms, when I talk about you, when you feel like it's right to make a connection, like I said, you may not know that I know, but every person you know, remember this, always remember this, they know at least 250 people. Let me say that again. Every person that you know, the first time when I heard it, it blew me away. I was like, I know 250 people. When you think of it, they know a minimum. They touch at least 250 people, because you could know them, their family know them, who knows you, and through your business, through church, through other engagements, through other things if you've done, people you've gone to school with, people you've worked with, people you've trained. And by the time you start to add it up, everybody you know knows at least 250 people. Drop a 3 if you got that gem. Drop a 3 if you got the gem. Did that gem make sense? Did that gem make sense? Yes. So that's what I'm talking about. You may think that you don't know anybody. You do. You see, alerts by yeah, okay, I see. Yes. So every person you know at least 250 people. So that's why when we go into spaces to network, like if you network, I have a women's group that I pay to be a part of. It's a monthly luncheon. When the pandemic hit, we had to go virtual, right? But because I'm a member for the investment level that I made, and what happened with that, when the investment was like almost, the original investment was under $1,000. But at the time, I did not see that 700 and something dollars, whatever it was, to join that. I didn't know where that was coming from. And that's why I tell people when they say, wait upon the Lord and be of good courage, right? And for me, it was like, okay, I'll continue doing what I can do. I still showed up at the luncheons. I still paid. I still participated. And when the time came for me to invest in that, I won't even tell you what that investment was. It was ridiculous. But guess what? It was a part of exclusivity. But at that time, when it was like this, I couldn't see it. But when it was like that, I was like, okay, I got the money now. Let me do this. But I never stopped showing up. I never stopped participating at the level that I could. So I might not have those thousands of dollars, right? For under 1,000 to thousands of dollars. Because at the time, sometimes it just happens that way, that you may, if you look at some 700, like what? So and you get access, you get access to all types of people, the owner and all the stuff, and you're talking to her. And she said, why didn't you do it at that time? And you did this. And I was like, but people are still invested. And not only that, she more than doubled it now. And I'm not even going to tell you, but that's why you can start with something that's so simple. And when you understand the value of what it is that you have, see, some people, this may not be for everybody, but once you understand the value of it, it's not for everyone. it's not for everyone because of the time and what it's going to take to do that. People are actually investing in you, the difficulty it takes to replace you for the thing that you do. Any job that you have, you're being compensated based upon the difficulty to replace you. So if you haven't done the work, they have actually done the work. So now that you've done that and you say, I got my 9 to 5 here, here's my gifting and my skills. God gave it to me for a reason. I need to ask him, what is it you have me to do? And will you give me wisdom in how to do that? Because later on, it could be an issue, right? There was a music group, and I can't remember, I don't know if it's the Five Tops or one of them, whichever it was. And they had to have legalities in place, like who could use a name. So they were a band member. So when people are doing things like, you know, they'll have a band, and then these people are not part of the original band, but can they use it? There are legalities at the front of it. And when I got to understand about the legal aspect around certain things, I remember one of my mentors, coaches, said to me, she said, Sharon, because I want to keep, she said, I want to keep the integrity of our relationship and our friendship intact. So we are clear beforehand. So as you would say, as we would say, so there's no bad blood. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Yes, Els Endeavor, we have to ask God to give us wisdom. And like I said, I'm still reeling from the Angie Stone thing, because say what they want about 50 Cent. He's making, you got to choose one day when you understand what's going on. Yes. Oh, like the Temptation. Yes, Els Endeavor. That's what I'm talking. And so some of them may want to tour on it. And I don't remember the name of it. And I'm not giving legal advice, and I'm not a lawyer. But these are the things. These are the little things that can make a difference. The little things, because, and I can talk about that because, like I said, I've been on radio how many years. They would send me their kit, their music, and all sorts of stuff. And then sometimes they'll have people representing them, and they don't know that those people are rude. They're those people who try to pay people to play music, payola. I'm none of that. I'm just, listen, I come, I play my music. I'm a nurse. I take care of my family. I don't want anybody's money. No, thank you. Right? So you have to understand, like the business, that's what I can speak from. I could speak from it. And how many artists just wrote stuff and just like some giving away their masters until, you know, they were able to do something different. And one of my friends, his son is a hit on TikTok and Instagram. If I say his name, you guys probably could see, because his voice is one of a kind. He's also a singer, and I pray and hope that he has everything intact also. So those are some of the things. Allison Mapp, what's up? Did I miss what you had for lunch today? Yeah, the New Temptations have permission to use the name. And that's it, Els Endeavor, because they had to go through the courts with it. I'm telling y'all, as nice as you may have all the good intentions, it just happens that way. Allison Mapp. Yeah, Allison. I love being on her live. Yeah, Allison, it was fun the other day when she was talking. And thank you for all you do for them children, as we would say in the island, them kids. Yeah, and dealing with parents and everything else. And it takes special people, you know, special people to do that. And so we were talking about, if you're doing something and you're getting the same results, and that equates to insanity, just quit doing that stuff. Try it another way, another approach. Sometimes you have to take a pause. Sometimes you have to pull back. But then sometimes you have to really understand that your gifting, your skills, and everything that has been given to you, it's for a reason. It is for a reason. And it could be for this generation or the next. Maybe just needs to jumpstart with you. And sometimes too, it can be overwhelming, because or some of you might have had situations, even with family. They don't understand you, and you're like, oh man, you know, family is family, but outside of that, you're a rock star elsewhere. But in front, in your family, they still call you Nene or whatever they call you. Yeah. So those are some of the things So this week, and then it's the beginning of the week at the time of this recording. And welcome everybody. Give a thumbs up if you're here this long. Thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't as yet. And it's the beginning of the week to be intentional about it. Write it down, right? What is it that you're looking for? At least three things. Write three things down. What are you looking to attain? What's a different outlook? What, the who, what, why, where, how, when, all of that stuff that you will need for it and to really support you. And like I said, today being on that call, and I always believe every coach should have a coach or at least have a couple of them. It just felt so good to be in that space. And they're like, oh, we're having a conference in Atlanta, I think November. So yeah, I was like, what? So that was just nice. Being in different spaces that's going to inspire you, that's going to help you with your creativity. And there's nothing wrong with dreaming of what that should look like if you were to do this thing, right? Instead of trying to figure out all the answers now, what is it that I need? What will I need to do? And for me, sometimes you got to have those talks. You got to have those pep talks to yourself. Like, oh, don't, why did I do that? But you want to speak to yourself kindly. Speak to yourself kindly. Because you may ask yourself, why am I doing this? How did I show up like this? How come? So you have to speak to yourself kindly because those words are powerful. And when we say the words that are disempowering, you feel it. And sometimes too, you'll be like, oh, because this happened and that happened. And the vibration is so low. But then when you turn it around and say, I serve a true and living God, right? I'm a child of the Most High God. Every and anything that I've asked for, He has blessed me and He'll continue to do that. And when you continue to pray and you say, God, I thank you, even for the simplest thing, because the gratitude is going to make a difference. The breath of life, being able to see, being able to hear, being able to speak, no slur. Oh my God, I'm not slurring my speech or anything. I'm able to take a deep breath on my own. My goodness. I turn on the light's on. Let's hope this one, the ring light stays on, right? And those things, and you think about it and you say, oh my God, I can move my body. I can do those just things, little things, right? I'm able to go to the bathroom. I'm able to brush my teeth. I'm able to take a shower. I'm able to get ready for work. And just little by little by little, and you look at your phone, oh, well, there's no emergencies because I ain't getting no calls from anybody, things like that. And you're in a place, in a space of full gratitude. So you know that, right? That God will provide. Yes, Els Endeavor, I thank Him for every day. Some of you have been spared from some things. Yeah, you might have been a little bit late for work, but right, that delay might have been that thing that saved you, right? You never know. And then sometimes other things happen and you say, well, was I supposed to? Yes, God, His will be done. But there are times, many times in our lives, that because of His goodness, His mercies, and His grace, I have no choice but to be grateful. Because when we try to do it by ourselves, we mess it up. We keep forgetting. We've all been there. I've been there. I'll never exclude myself out of it. That one morning, and I was like, you will go through a season where it's just like, we've all been through it, especially since the pandemic. Like, man, like what happened? It's just like you want to be on the sofa for a day, cover up your head or something. And when you think and you say, but wait, who is my reason? Who's my source? And the moment you do that, you will see the strength. You will get this energy. I said, wait a minute, God is my source. And there's some things, yes, we let them fall by the wayside because pride, oh my God, pride, we allow pride to get in the way. But if you have integrity, right, and there's something you need to do, you can catch up, you can do that. That's right, gratitude, God's protection. Come on now, God's protection, listen, that's no joke. And so sometimes we allow pride to come in the way. And then I'll look back at it like, why did I allow pride to stand in? Because that's why they're saying You get out of life what you ask. Anthony Robbins said, you will get out of life what you ask of it. Let that sink in. You will get out. So there's something that you needed and you didn't ask for it. You did yourself a disservice by not asking. It's not like you're begging, right? You are asking. You may ask for a little bit more time to do something. You may need something. I remember, I got a story for everything. I was doing this training and the training was coming to an end. And they said they needed the payment right then and there. And they needed the payment by the Thursday morning. And this was back in 2013. So I was still working and they're like, we need it. And it has to be by 4 p.m. the Thursday. And for me, I will get paid. I think, no, either they needed the Wednesday, whatever day they got it, that was the cutoff. I would get paid. I don't know how many of you used to get that 2 a.m. pay, they would deposit your money because I worked for the hospital. So that direct deposit would hit the account. I think it's, okay, they needed it on the Wednesday. And my account was not going to get hit until 2 a.m. in the morning. So at that time, me not thinking that was it. It was written in stone. That was it. That was it. That was it. And I'll never forget the lady in the office said, is there somebody, she said, as long as you do things with integrity, is there someone you can speak to that you can take care of this and then you rectify what you need to do? And I'm like, I said, yeah. And she said, well, then the decision is up to you. So once again, the gem on that, drop a 4 if you got that. Life will give you what you ask out of it. If you never open your mouth, and if I didn't say to him, oh yeah, I could do that, or listen, I've come to the end, if you guys decided, because I was saying, you know what, I quit. She said, you've done 6 months of this training and you're quitting at this. I said, yes, because I'm trying to tell you, my account is not going to hit until 2 a.m. So all the stress and all the things that was coming, and all I needed to do was to make a request and to be bold about the request. I dropped a gem there. I need a 4 and a 5 because I just dropped a gem right then and there. And so life, yes, will give you what you ask of it. So if you never ask, knock. What do they say? Knock. Seek, and ye shall find. My God, you will never know. You will never know, because sometimes we think we don't show up because the pride, I've been guilty of that. The pride, when in fact, God had already set it up for them to say yes. Have you ever felt away sometimes? And then the yes was so easy when you were just stressing over this thing. And you're just like, and that's how when pride comes in. That's when it comes in. So we have to come against it. We got to pray against it. We see all of this, everything right now is through our spiritual eyes, guys. Everything. So I'm glad you all enjoyed this. Let's see how I did. I don't even understand what the timing is saying. It's almost saying I didn't even do 2 miles. But I hope you found this to be powerful. I hope you found it to be helpful. And don't forget that saying, life will give you exactly what you ask of it. So if you don't, let's say, what did they say? A closed mouth does not get fed. Drop a 6. I'm leaving it there. So you have to learn how to make those requests, to be bold about them, and be clear on what you want, because there are other ways of doing things. Because instead of you thinking that it's just your way, there are other ways to it. So God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to come back to the live. Just drop me a quick message and, always come over and watch and supporting you guys. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it. All right, beautiful people. So we're shutting down in about 20 seconds. Here goes all the 6. Yeah, we did it tonight. Thank you all for being here with me and tolerating me huffing and puffing. But I have to get those things in. And yeah, some good things are happening. Be of good courage, guys. Don't worry about it. He will give you the desires of your heart. Just use wisdom with what you've been blessed with and know that it is truly a blessing and it is a gift. Take care. Love you all. See ya on these internet streets. Take care. Bye bye.